Reichskanzler Papen and the radio. Economic crisis has shaken the belief held by millions of Germans in their great country, and as an effect, both social democratic and radical movements started gaining popularity. Reichschancellor von Papen hoped to turn the tide by announcing weekly radio addresses,
Fireside chats,
in which he would announce what steps the government has taken to combat the crisis, despite critics saying that since the beginning of these auditions, Chancellor prefers to spend time in broadcasting company headquarters rather than the Reichstag. The broadcast proved to be a great success. Awesome. So yeah, we have von Papen's Fireside Chats. Workers in the Rhineland are protesting against the recent anti-leftist actions of our government, especially the well-known FAUD scandal.
Hopefully this will not cause tragedy.
Workers strike, factory output -10, and France get workers unrest.
So we're heading for a confrontation with the commune. I think that...
Yeah. Riots and protests at Rangoon University. Dissatisfaction with the lack of popular involvement in the government has sparked some of the greatest demonstrations in Burma since their own independence in 1926. Stemming from the great and prestigious Rangoon University, I hear they have good crab dishes down there. Radicalized leftist students have occupied several I love crab Rangoon. It's true.
It's amazing.
It's one of my favorite foods of all time. Radicalized leftist students have occupied several administrative buildings and held rallies denouncing the monarchy and its feudal backers as being corrupt and detrimental to the welfare of the nation. Still, the demonstrators haven't managed to garner the support of the industrial workers and rural farmers, restricting the budding movement to the Burmese intelligentsia. So as long as it stays restricted to the students, I'm not that worried. If the farmers and industrial workers start taking up arms, then we've got a problem.
It's like, shoot, I wish we could send the whites more volunteers.
Yeah.
They're in trouble.
That style coat is not something that any German leader wants to see.
Okay. Well, that is good.
Okay, we've signed a white peace, so they might be able to divert more forces here now. And Siberia is not making any progress in crossing the Urals, as one would expect, given that there's really nothing over here. So
the Arab Congress.
Interesting. The Arab revolt in the Weltkrieg was a failure, mostly due to the defeat of the Entente, and the millions of Arabs living in the Levant and Iraq stayed under Ottoman rule. Despite this, though, Arab nationalism has been on the rise for many years, and it has finally culminated in the beginning of the Arab Congress in Cairo. Representatives from numerous Arab nations were greeted with a spectacular performance by Egyptian dancers and an artillery salute, and the negotiations began. Experts predict that Egypt and Hashemite Arabia will lead the Congress, a Congress where bitterness towards Ottomans and sometimes even discussions of a united Arab axis against the Turks can now flow freely. I wonder where I've seen this before. Planned by Arab nationalists in Egypt, the Arab Congress is an event in Cairo where delegates from all Arab nations convene to discuss the situation and preservation of the Arab culture and identity. Unfortunately, this awakened unwanted nationalism in our Arabic-speaking provinces.
Dang it. Back to negative.
Yep. Which I guess is just basically
there.
Yeah. Yemen. Is this Yemen? I think that's where's states map mode. Resource resistant states is the flag. Duh. Oh yeah. So the Gulf of Aden basically is ours. It is part of modern day Yemen. So who are the Hashemites who are? They're under Faisal. That's awesome. He's still kicking around.
Yes, he is.
So we need a new national focus. So ban French organizations is our next political options. Formerly French-controlled regions in the western parts of Germany have been unruly for a long time. French nationalism is widespread in the population, and French cultural and political organizations exist aplenty. Banning them could suppress French nationalism, or it could radicalize it. The French will not be happy.
I'm not afraid of them, though. I mean,
no,
we have them. Without allies, we would destroy them.
And we still... Oh, actually, we can go ahead and do Aftermath of the Black Monday.
As we should.
Yeah. The Great Crash of 1936, widely known as Black Monday, has had a massive impact on German politics, culture, and society. While the damage might never be fixed, we should enact reforms and recovery policies to regain some of our lost capacity.
Yes, we should. That is absolutely the right call.
Der neue... I don't know the German word for deal. We can do the German New Deal, hopefully.
Yep.
If that's an option. Engineering, we're already headed. Doctrine's good. We're researching tanks. Tiger's way ahead of time. Probably want to get some probably want to get some MGO8s.
Yeah, some mine werfers. We need to werf some mines.
Yeah. Because a mine that goes unwerfed is a dangerous mine.
Indeed, absolutely.
Yeah.
The most dangerous of mines are those that are unwerfed.
Yeah. Let's see. Get support companies are pretty much up to snuff. Want to maybe add some field hospitals?
Sure. Those are good to have, actually.
Yeah. Come on! Right when it goes positive, it's gonna go.
I know. At least we've mitigated the damage.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we're in danger of.
No, I actually like this. This degree of railroading in CK2 or EU4 would be a little bit annoying, but because this is a scenario that plays out over a very short amount of time, I don't mind this amount of scripted events at all, really.
Well, looks like that war is actually stalemating.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to break through this pass. Rhineland strikers cave in. Fuck yeah!
There you go.
The slow war of attrition between us and the strikers has been won by the government. The strikers, seeing little success in their efforts, are about to call off the strike.
As they should. And that's a lot of
Bow
political
to the
power.
Kaiser!
And if we can stay over 100, we are now, like, rolling the dice, essentially, for a stability upgrade. Getting back to average stability.
You know, something we should do... let's determine. Austria's probably not going to attack us. Switzerland, they're market liberals. They're probably going to stay neutral.
Belgium, who cares?
They're on our side, more or less, actually. I don't think the Netherlands is going to join the socialists.
I think Denmark is a natural person to attack first if we want to.
Denmark, they have some socialists, but they're not.
I think we're heading towards a confrontation with France if the Russians don't...
That's what I'm trying to determine is...
The Russians aren't resolving their business as fast as you would think they would be, so...
So let's take everybody east of Berlin and just put them on the French border.
Yeah, because that'll go over well, but yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the AI can't really...
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying...
Change their...
That would be a tantamount to a declaration of war if it were real.
Well, we have... Okay, so we have von Manstein, we have Rundstedt, Rommel's kicking around. He's not a field marshal, though, so he'll be better for smaller operations. So yeah, some faces that were part of actual World War II and some who are not. I guess we'll give Max Entrenchment. Yeah, so von Rundstedt actually is probably the best choice.
Yep.
Oh, is Belgium in our faction?
That's awesome.
I didn't even realize that.
That's awesome.
They're in the Central Powers. Okay.
Which means we could basically do Schlieffen Redux if we wanted to.
Yeah. Holy shit. And France thinks they're going to attack us? Like, they can't defend all of this. There ain't no Maginot Line going to save you from having Belgium in our faction. Chief of General Staff Hans von Zicht has died today in Berlin. The hero of the intervention in China passed away peacefully in his sleep. Our nation is mourning a true German hero.
We can now reform the military command.
Is the least we can do. So,
we can now reform the military command, I guess. We can't afford to, though.
Yeah, not political power-wise, definitely. Panzer II, state funeral for a war hero. State funeral has been given to Hans von Zicht.
Yeah.
Zicht, I believe is the correct pronunciation of that. All important dignitaries were in attendance. Afterward, the chief of the army, August von Mackensen,
could be seen whispering something. He retires.
Okay. So, let's see. Panzerkampfwagen. Can't get a Panzer III yet. Can't get that yet. These are ahead of time.
They're all ahead of time.
Radio, there we go.
Yeah, do it.
Duh.
Yeah.
Outdated equipment. Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
We need Panzer IIs.
Bam. Increase in stability. Yes.
Excellent. So our stability has gone up to average.
That's awesome. We'll take it.
So, and that actually affects our national unity too. Interesting. Construction-wise, we're still building civ factories, still building mill factories. That's fine.
He retires.
August von Mackensen has delivered his official retirement message to the Kaiser wearing his trademark Life Hussar uniform. Field Marshal is already 86 years old, and he wishes to merely live out his days in peace. The Kaiser accepted his resignation in order to celebration.
Yeah, 86 years old. That's like Godspeed, man. Like Godspeed.
So yeah, we're gonna have some room for some rising stars to come up in the great German military here. Might as well put these guys in an army too. Anyone with defensive bonuses? I think Walter Monel might be the best for now.
Maybe on the border with Poland.
Yeah, where would they attack through? That's an interesting one. So, our faction members... Actually, a lot of our faction members boarded the Soviets. So let's think about this theoretically.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, if the Soviets declared a war of aggression against us, where would be the best place to stage a response? I almost think
the Baltic.
Baltic.
Yep.
Yeah.
We would want to protect our Baltic ports, and I think the Soviets would want to divest us of our Baltic ports.
So we'll station our
him there.
His army there. Yeah. Aftermath of Black Monday.
Wonderful.
Cool. So, the Wilhelm Groner Plan initiation. There are few men in the German Empire who understand military matters and logistics as well as Wilhelm Groner. The highly decorated former general has suggested a plan for
relativizing.
Relativizing. Yeah, relativizing. There we go. The economy by investing in military industry. He claims to get the economy running. People need to get to work. Or we could go with the Schlacht plan. Hilmar Schlacht is a prominent figure in the finance departments of the Kaiserreich. With many years of experience in the banking industry, there are few men who understand economic recessions and how to treat them better than Schacht. Not Schlacht, Schacht. He warns that the reconstruction will take time, but the end result will be more rewarding.
The Kaiserreich would go with Groner's plan. More military-industrial complex.
Fair enough.
I mean, they would.
Yeah. I think we can get both eventually, but yeah. So we're getting up close to where we can boost our party popularity, which is nice. And the reparations are over. Syndicalist takeover in the Netherlands. God damn it. Events in the Netherlands have reached a boiling point, and the socialists have stormed the capital with French and British equipment and volunteers. The fate of the royal Dutch family is yet unknown, as rumors say they intend to escape to the loyalist Dutch East Indies. So we now have a problem.
We now have what is called a blind spot.
The Batavian Commune. They're social conservatives, it says.
So they're gonna have a hard time keeping that government up.
Okay, so they're not. So they're social conservative. They're not socialist. They're not syndicalist.
The socialists just overthrew the government.
They are part of the Third International, so they are part of the faction, which now does include Britain.
So our first target, if we ever launch an attack, is going to be the Netherlands.
Yeah,
we want to knock them out of the war immediately if we could.
That's a major vulnerability, actually. See, we don't have the manpower to start training new divisions. I feel very uneasy about leaving that border undefended, but I feel even more uneasy taking men off the
Here's the thing,
border.
If we can take Paris quick, a la Schlieffen, any war that started up would be over before it began.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. We should focus on knocking out the larger belligerent first.
I'm not sure that Amsterdam could penetrate very far on its own. Okay. Oh,
crisis in the Danube. Austria and Hungary have broken off negotiations with each other. We should probably intervene in order to prevent another war in Europe. It's clear the status quo will not solve this, so we have to favor one side or the other. Favoring Austria, staying neutral, favor Hungary. So it's
of course we're going to favor Austria.
Yeah, they're our buds. And also, we don't want to make them mad at us.
Oh, great! Here we go.
Okay,
war.
So we may be at war. Italian Federation declared war on the Austrian Empire. What? declared war on Montenegro. Pause it.
We promised.
Damn it. Okay.
Help Austria. Did we promise?
Send the promised help. They just want 10,000 manpower.
Do it.
Despite the victory in the Weltkrieg, the Austro-Hungarian Empire appeared to be bound to collapse. The Ausgleich of 1927, negotiated when Emperor Otto was still a child, managed to preserve it, though, via granting extensive rights to most of the minorities in the empire. However, the Hungarians were angered by this fact and sought to establish a domineering position in the empire, while the Habsburgs were interested in retaining that role. Many put high hopes on the Ausgleich of 1937 to preserve the monarchy, but it appears that all diplomacy has failed. Hungary and Austria have separated and even gone into conflict with one another, a war that is bound to affect any and all autonomous territories of the empire.
Europe is just never going to be calm.
So, yeah, Hungary...
With 10,000...
Actually, under the Habsburg-Lotharingians, interestingly enough. Okay, so they're still under a personal union, but they're at war with each other. Mm-hmm. That's kind of funny.
Well, what's funny is with our 10,000 manpower, Austria should have the edge here.
I hope so. I just don't get why we can't intervene directly. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think there's any situation in which Austria gets attacked by Hungary and the German Empire does not directly go in to clean some house.
And the Balkans are on fire.
The Balkans are being the Balkans. The von Hammerstein-Eckward affair. A month before elections, yet another scandal was revealed by the media. Die Gartenlaube, newspaper owned by Alfred Hugenberg, reported that two daughters of Freiherr Kurt von Hammerstein-Eckward, general and friend of influential Reichskriegsminister von Schleicher, I took 4 years of German in college, but
it's just a lot.
When there's this much German flying at me, I'm getting botch
German
some pronunciations. Yeah, I'm gonna hit German saturation. We're involved in shady dealings with syndicalist intelligence. Shortly after, the Reichstag member Franz Selta fanned flames by asking why the Abwehr, run by Schleicher's friend Ferdinand von Bredow, didn't find out that the family of War Minister's associate was infiltrated by hostile intelligence. While General von Hammerstein-Eckward resigned and publicly apologized for his daughter's doings, the real question for von Schleicher was, should he pull strings to replace von Bredow and remove any further threats to his political career from that direction, and if yes, by whom? So we can remove the intel minister ideas from the German Empire, and we gain Ferdinand von Bredow. Somebody have Nikolai's number. We get Walter Nikolai, and what was his name again? Canaris. So let's look at who these guys are. So intel minister. So Nikolai. I don't even know what the difference is between them. They're all authoritarian Democrat. Okay, so one of them's authoritarian Democrat. Two of them
paternal autocrat.
Paternal autocrats.
We want the authoritarian Democrat.
Yeah, I mean we are an authoritarian democracy. So let's stick with von Bredow.
Okay.
I think, yeah. Austrian Empire declared.
Wow, Austria, way to broaden your front. Way to broaden this conflict. So the Balkans are at war.
Liberia asks for protection with the What? What just happened?
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
The South went communist? What just... Okay, they're not communist. Father... Okay,
this is third grade.
This has gone bonkers. This has gone officially full bonkers. They say never go full bonkers. Father Coughlin, the pseudo-fascist radio host, has apparently broken off the South into a separate faction to start the Second American Civil War.
And they're going to get wrecked. I mean, this isn't even going to be competitive.
So, with the American Civil War in full swing, their former protectorate of the Republic of Liberia has approached us with a request for diplomatic and military protection. So, feel the U.S. is pretty cray-cray right now.
Yeah.
So we can agree to protect them. They become a puppet of us. Yes, but grant administration to Middle Africa, which will give them to our colony. We don't need them, or they're unprotected seas. Should we take them over directly, or should we give them to our colony?
I'd say give them to our colony. I don't know that we need the headache.
Although this pisses off France, whereas this does not. Although I think that's a bug.
Okay.
Yeah, that is exactly a bug. So let's take the unbugged option, just to be fair.
Yes.
Yeah, that's using an incorrect operator in the event. I know exactly how to fix that, actually, from doing paradox modding. So the U.S. won't like us.
The U.S. needs to deal with Father Coughlin. No, man.
Oh, yeah, and Huey
What
Long,
just happened?
President Huey Long. What the fuck?
The United States is breaking apart. Jack Reed is a syndicalist.
So basically the Rust Belt has broken off
and cut New England off from the country.
Huey P. Long has become the new Confederate president, and the Pacific States under Frank Merriam. Oh my god!
So the United States is splintering now.
So yeah, this is interesting.
The United States is splintering. Here's the thing. Now I don't actually know who will win these wars.
Yeah. Combined Stendhal declared war on the American
They're all
Union.
at war.
So they're all at war with each other.
So these guys.
Our Secret Service reported that Egypt, together with other states in the Middle East, is planning to dismantle the Ottoman Empire in the future. Such drastic steps are a direct threat to the stability of the entire Middle East arrangement, which was set by the Peace with Honor sign on 1921, which we do. We won't allow them to fall. So Egypt, Arabia, Iran don't like us. Ottoman Empire likes us.
You know what? Do we want to prop
Egypt.
The sick man of Europe up even further? I mean, that almost feels like getting further in bed with a doomed cause.
And then if we don't do it, we just lose 50 political power. We just piss off the Ottomans. Well,
I don't know that we want to prop them up further. I mean, what benefit does that serve us?
So they're paternal autocrats, so they ostensibly agree with us ideologically, but the Hashemites are authoritarian Democrats. Egypt, authoritarian Democrats. Who else is involved here?
See, I'm just telling you, as a policy
Democrats.
Matter at this point, I would see no need to prop the Turks up.
Let's let the Ottoman Empire fall. Second American Civil War. Okay, so here's some sort of explanation of what
to
the
uneducated
fuck just
foreigners, it might seem like the crisis in the United States happened out of nowhere. No shit.
No, we're not foreigners, actually.
But
we live
experts agree that this was a civil war years in the making. Ever since the collapse of the New York Stock Exchange in 1929, the economy of the United States has been in constant downturn. The government of Herbert Hoover failed to cope with the American Great Depression. And now, the United States has devolved into a three-way civil war between the loyalists of the old government, the syndicalist combined syndicates of America, and the conservative and xenophobic American Union State. There have already been reports of arriving volunteers from Europe to fight for a faction of their liking, like the Spanish Civil War. The Second American Civil War might just be the first of many battlefields between the great powers in the world in this tough time for humanity.
So who's president right now? Is it still Hoover? Okay, Charles Curtis. He's a Republican.
I think we'd support him if we get the option, wouldn't we?
I guess what they're saying is...
This is the Spanish Civil War.
If the U.S. had remained extremely protectionist
and isolationist,
and we didn't have FDR, and we didn't have World War II to pull us out of the Depression, they're assuming that
something
some
bad
shit would have gone down.
Fair.
Yeah, that's okay.
So if we get the option to send volunteers, I say send them to the states, dude.
Yeah, that would be my impression as well. Anyway, I think that on that exciting note, that might actually be a good time.
Wow, this is cool. I'm having a good time.
I think we're both enjoying this quite a lot. Yeah, this is already way more exciting than most of our historical Hearts of Iron games. I have no idea where this is going.
None. Absolutely none. This is going to be bonkers.
Yeah.
And you know what I love? Is we're the most powerful nation on Earth by a long shot, but they've done a great job of managing to make us still vulnerable.
Politically paralyzed, which is really, pretty accurate. Yeah. So yeah, we're still trying to get rid of these terrible modifiers so we can have a country and have some manpower so we can maybe train some divisions someday.
To get ready to fight the syndicalists that are at our...
Hawaii went independent.
Hawaii.
Henry Alexander Baldwin.
A white dude came over and was like...
He was maybe the governor of Hawaii.
Yeah, maybe.
So, yep. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Loresworn.com is our website. We're at Loresworn Order. I'm at AsaTJ. DM is at DM Schmeier. And
we are home, by the way.
Subscribe to this shit, because this is getting interesting.
I'd want to follow this.
Oh my god, that just blew the whole thing open. I was like, oh yeah, there's probably be some tensions with the socialists in France. They're going to declare war on us, and it's like, what the fuck? So, yeah. We'll continue next time, so keep an eye out.